Sometimes flu-like symptoms are the warning signs of something much more serious. That's what happened to Wade Hansard, who had a bad infection that made its way to his heart, only he had no idea.
Thought I had the flu, and then I developed pretty high fever and night sweats, soaked through the bedding kind of night sweats. And after a few days of that, my wife said, you need to go to an urgent care.
But urgent care was just the beginning of his story.
And he said that he thought I had pneumonia and to go to the hospital.
Wade's wife immediately took him to Clovis Community Medical Center, where they ran tests and they waited for the results.
In his case, he had an infection within his aortic valve, but it was such a big infection that it caused his aortic valve not to work well, and developed what's called aortic insufficiency, and then also developed infection below the heart valve, which made it even more important for us to treat him quickly, and then also consider surgery sooner than later for him.
Dr. Leheb Araim performed the surgery on Wade in a potentially life or death situation. The damage to Wade's heart was more extensive than originally thought. But then there was the issue of the infection, which had impacted Wade's entire body.
You're talking about close to 1 out of 3 patients going to have serious setbacks or death related to this mechanism, because you can do the surgery and fix them in that regard, but if their body doesn't fend off the infection and the sepsis that follows sometimes afterwards, it can be difficult for them to recover.
Wade and his loved ones had begun to grasp just how sick he really was.
Either nurse practitioner or physician's assistant came in and started talking about, well, we've determined that you're going to need to have this kind of surgery and this valve replaced and that valve replaced. And I remember my response to her was, so you're telling me you're going to crack my chest? And she said, oh yeah, of course. And a little darker minute, I asked, well, what happens if I don't do it? And she said, probably a couple months.
Wade survived the surgery, and the antibiotics helped him defeat the infection. In fact, he was able to be home, recovering with family, in time for the holidays.
So afterwards, knowing that, then being able to, even though I had to sit in the corner with a mask on, be with the family at Thanksgiving and then later with Christmas, kind of made it a little bit more special. It gives you a different outlook on things. I wouldn't go to any other hospital in Fresno other than one of the community hospitals, either downtown or Clovis.